WizKids just dropped the Scott Porter unboxing of Wheels of Vengeance, and we got to peek into what we are going to see moving forward in November or whenever the set comes out. I don't know. They always change the dates. But we're going to talk about it. First off, let's talk about Orb. Okay, Orb is really good, and I'll tell you why. Orb's attack rolls of critical misses, so double ones, are critical hits instead of critical misses. When Orb attacks, you may replace one die in his attack roll with a 1. Once per game, you may choose that a friendly character's critical miss becomes a critical hit. If you do, Orb can't use this trait this game. You get double ones, it becomes double sixes, critical hits, which is crazy good. And then also you may replace one of his rolls with a 1 if you want to. So if you want to miss an attack, you can, but also if you already rolled a 1 and a 6, you can then change that 6 to a 1, making it a critical hit. I think this character is really good. And on top of that, he's got the keyword of Assassin, which makes him really viable for Assassins teams. He also has Charge and Flurry, and the Flurry is only conditional if it's crossed the rim of elevated terrain this turn, which is interesting. Yeah, I think that Orb is really good. I think he's pretty deep as well. I think having probability control on this top dial is really good as well. And he's 45 points, so you really can't go wrong. So the Orb, look out for him. He's going to be used on Assassins teams and just in general, I think. I think he's really good. So let's keep moving on. Brother Voodoo Prime is another character I want to talk about. Brother Voodoo Prime starts with 3 Twisted Wish tokens. Free, remove a wish token, and if you do, choose 1. Dealing opposing character within range 2 penetrating damage, or heal any one character 3 clicks. Okay, we'll just talk about that. Having these wish tokens, and then at some point during the game, you can just free remove a wish token, or a twisted wish, excuse me, and being able to either deal 2 penetrating here or heal 1 character 3 is really good. I mean, that's including himself as well. So yeah, I think he is good with that. So let's keep going. Let's see how other brokenness he can do. When a Twisted Wish token is removed from Brother Voodoo, after resolutions, an opposing character may choose 1. Place any 2 characters friendly to their force into each other's squares, so you can switch 2 characters if, you know, just swap them. Or remove an action token from any character. I think most people are probably going to do that one. I think that one's pretty good, if you ask me. Once per game when Brother Voodoo would be KO'd, you may instead remove a Twisted Wish token from him. If you do, roll a d6 and turn him to the result click number. Protected Pulse Wave. So if he dies and you have a Twisted Wish token on him and you wish to use it, then you can then heal him to whatever click that is revealed on the dice. So if you roll a 1, you click him to click 1. If you roll a 6, it goes back to click 6. You don't get to heal him, you just go to that click number. Yeah, and then also on top of that, he has Mind Control, Smoke Cloud, and Telekinesis. On top of that, he has Prob Control, Super Senses, Defend, Support, Phase and Teleport, Stealth. He can see through characters. Overall, I don't really know. I put him in the same category as like Jokester Prime. I think he's pretty good. But I think he's really good. And also having Mystic's keyword is good. I just don't know if he's Prime good. And that's like the issue, right? There's so many Primes contesting for this. I don't know if you're gonna actually use him over a lot of the other Primes in the set, but I could be wrong. Pretty dope in concept. Don't know how much it's gonna be used as the Prime slot because it's highly contested, but let's keep moving on. Okay, so we have the other pilot that I really want to talk about, and that is Ghost Rider. And Ghost Rider is crazy. So Ghost Rider has the same pilot thing that Elektra has from before, so I'm not gonna go over that again, except his keywords are Ghost Rider and Midnight Suns. So that's a little bit more niche, a little bit not as many characters have those keywords, but there's gonna probably be a lot that are gonna come out on this side, so there's also that. So the pilot rule is good and all, but then we have this trait. Ghost Rider and adjacent friendly characters can use their powers regardless of opposing effects. This power is like 1 rotation too late. This was the answer to deal with Scarlet Witch. This was the answer to deal with Necro Sword. This was the answer to deal with a lot of stuff. But this is crazy now because there's no way to contest this because it's a trait and it's not a power and you really can't shut that stuff off. And it's also protected Pulse Wave, which means that you are able to use your abilities through Pulse Wave, which is crazy. So all you want to do is just run a defensive shell around him, and all of a sudden he's crazy. On top of all of that, he can have the wild card team ability, which he does have. He can copy the Green Lantern, and he can just carry everybody around with him so that no one ever leaves his sight. And on top of all that, then again, he's 70 points. So really, what this character is you're gonna have to have a good old slugfest. Just hit it really hard. That's all you got to do. And it is not unique. I just realized that. So there's also that. Probably the craziest figure to come out so far. So, but let's keep going. We're kind of getting into chases now. I want to talk about Namor real quick. I like him, but I feel like you have to run him at his full points. And why I say that is because at 4, and that's the issue, right? He's 145. And I just don't think he's going to be like crazy good on a lot of these teams. I think the Flurry is free, but only to target characters occupying water terrain is crazy good because that's a great trait to have. Having Flurry in general is really good, and having a free Flurry, so then you basically get 4 attacks because you can use Flurry as a power action, and then you can use it as a free action, is crazy good. Too dependent on water terrain. So then you got to make sure you have a theme team that you can win water, and win with water and make a water map, and that's totally fine and all that. And there's characters that support this, like, BTU Aquaman's really good. King Shark makes water when he breaks terrain. You could also bring in water terrain as well. And actually, Namor makes water terrain himself, but at 145, he gets a special thing that says, hypersonic speed. When Namor moves after resolutions, he may generate a water terrain through the square he moved through. So he can make water. The issue is he doesn't have that on his top dial of his 80-point click. So that's why I think you should play him at 145, because at 80 points, you're kind of dependent on whether or not you win map. And with Scott Porter's running around and theme teams being so predominant, it's going to be really hard to win that, especially if you're going to make an off team with that. So he does have a stop click, he does have super strength, and he does have blades, claws, fangs eventually. So he is a good figure. I just don't see it overall. I think you got to run him at his full 145, but at that point, is it really worth it to run it? But I think he is in contention though for one of the coolest, dopest looking sculpts that's came out. So at least there's that. Okay, so Capwolf, same thing, same pilot thing, except he is a Captain America werewolf hybrid. And he gets the Captain America or monster keywords can be put as a pilot for him as well. So he's got the same pilot as the other 2 characters we talked about with the pilot, except his keywords are going to be Captain America and monster. Which Captain America is good because you could put Captain America Pegasus, I have here, on there, but you don't really get his special attack power, but you get instant power. But there's another trait that I'll talk about in a little bit that's really good for Captain America. But then if you put anything with monster, you are then opening up the floodgates. There are so many monsters that exist, and they're all usually pretty good. The one that comes to my mind is Legacy Hulk from Avengers 60th, who went through the cracks pretty quietly, and I kind of like him. He's a little overcosted, but I think the whole gimmick of him is pretty cool. He's got some pretty good powers, but the reason why I pick him specifically is because of this trait. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6 for all characters with the moon trait. Also, sidebar, moon traits are another trait that has been going on with this set, but right now, so there's a lot of characters that have the moon trait, but they all do something a little bit differently, but this one is very unique to him. So you roll your d6, and on a 1 through 4, you get shape change. On a 5 through 6, however, free. Generate the character chosen for Capwolf's pilot trait on its last non-KO click, and that character makes an attack. After resolutions, return it to your sideline on any click. So why did I say Hulk? Well, because Hulk is hitting for a massive 12 attack for a whopping 6 damage, which is crazy if you ask me. Captain America also gets energy shield deflection, invulnerability, and super senses, and then also he has another ability trait that lets him generate werewolves if he hits his leadership, and that's really good as well. So he's got some pretty beefy attack and some pretty decent defense as well, but overall he's a really good figure, and I can't wait to see what people do with him. So actually, that's all it's going to do it. I know there's a ton of characters in there, but I just want to talk about the characters that I felt needed to have some type of explanation or just talking about in general. So yeah, if you like this video and if I missed something, let me know in the comments. Tell me how wrong I was. Just let me know what's going on in your life. Whatever you want to talk about Heroclix, I'll see you in the comments. And we'll see you next time in another video. We talk about all things Heroclix.